this bar hot, chopper go clock out like boom. Smoking that Zaza, mix the move, rock 'em on the moon. Nami I thought she gave me the mata like ooh. Keep a big job, we got the top shot, got boom. Give me this bar hot, chopper go clock out like boom. Smoking that Zaza, mix the move, rock 'em on the moon. Nami I thought she gave me the mata like ooh. Keep a big job, we got the top shot, got boom. Step in my section, hands with me, keep a weapon. If I out that nigga dead man, looking how could we aim for his head then? Out my settle.
Hey guys, it's your boy Nami Rubber Bands, back with another video, and today I'm joined with.
What's up? Anime Rage. What's good, everybody?
What's good? He said what's good. We good. Let me stop. But nah, for real, guys. This is gonna be a interesting collaboration. We've been talking about this for quite a bit, and let's see. How will death powers from Darksiders work in the world of HighSchool DxD? But we're just gonna add some little twist here and there to make it more interesting. So yeah, you wanna go explain a little bit, Rage?
All right, sure. So the way how this is going to work is a little series that me and him have been coming up with like a few weeks back. The idea of putting ourselves in the show without making them feel brain dead.
Right.
And one of the ideas I came up with was when we show up to the verse, things tend to, like us being there, causes a domino effect inside the verse itself. Like characters who aren't supposed to be there are there. Events that's supposed to happen later actually happen sooner.
Right.
So I thought it'll be a pretty fun idea to do it that way, since it kind of gives us a bit more freedom in how we would tell this story. So we don't have to be strictly in the narrative of the show itself, because, we're just naturally changing it due to our presence anyway.
So, no more explanation. Let's get into it.
Alright, so I'm just going to mention a bit of how this is going to work, and he'll follow up after.
Right.
So, in this is actually going to be post Darksider 2. This is post after the death has kind of chose humanity over his own race, essentially. So all the humans back on, his Earth, are just alive, living good. And so after that, all the other factions in the world kind of outlaw the idea of devils or any demonic powers getting shared around with angelic beings. They want to essentially just scrap the whole idea of Nephilim's entirety due to how big of a pain death was. But they soon realized, as much as a pain he was, his power was definitely needed. A being with both, who can use both angelic and demonic powers, is useful.
Right.
Because it took like a few wars from Kokubil for them to even realize that. So, with that, they're just talking to each other. Well, the devil so far. As they're like, he hasn't been awakened since the Great War. Do you really think this is a good idea to revive one of his kin? One of his descendants again? They're like, hey, we have no other option. He's the only one who can actually stop this whole war. So as they're talking and stuff, they're like, hey, this is going to be very interesting, but at the same time, we can probably have a bit more leniency, since this isn't exactly death. Like, this one probably won't be as hard-headed as death, but hey,
right.
We'll see. So keep in mind, this is like earlier HighSchool DxD, like Rias and all of them, they're like young.
Right.
Like, this is practically Riser and his father and his mother, like all of them, like talking about this whole meeting. So as they're talking, they're like, look, whatever happens in this area stays in this area. We don't want other factions to get word on this. Sure, they know they don't want Nephilim back, but we kind of need them at the same time, So we might as well start off slow with one before we decide to bring them all. But the only way for this actually to work, he said, with a little bit of creation magic, we kind of have to create a being or use part of a human soul to do it. But here's the thing with this. He won't just be grown up immediately. He will actually have to grow up in real time. But don't worry. It should be relatively quickly due to the fact that devils and angels tend to grow up at a more faster rate than a person would. All right,
Mm.
I'll pass it to you.
So, they as they looking for the right person to use the body for, that's a perfect match. Which they're like, this might take a long time. As we cut to like Rias is there, and she says, "What about this person all the way to the left?" As they like look down and like, wait, that's no way. That's like that is this is kind of crazy. And because the thing is, it's shocking to them because they've been looking for a perfect student for like years. It's not like a instant thing where you have to find the right matchup. And they look at the person and they kind of, no pun intended, invade his territory by us like searching him up, right? So they're like, it's crazy. Never thought it would just be a walking descendant of death himself. This is good. This is exactly what we need. As they let me pause it. So as I'm like, I just wake up and I'm like, oh, what the heck is going on? So I look to the right of me. I see a beautiful blonde haired woman holding me. As I'm like, okay, that's weird. Why is a female holding me? Because guys, I'm thinking I'm still in my old body, right? So I'm like, why she looks so large? As then I look to the left, as I see a tall man with long black hair looking at me. As I look down at my fingers and I look at my hands, I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I a baby? As I start freaking out and crying. And my mom, tries to comfort me to stop me from crying. Um, as I'm like, what is going on? As I pass it back to you, Rage.
Alrighty. So, as him being born, the parents, cradling him, comforting him, right? But it doesn't take them too long to just quiet back down because, you're like you're a bit confused, but at the same time, you can kind of read the room a bit.
Right.
So we're gonna cut back to Rice and his family. As Rice was like, well, we still have. I guess we didn't need this much demonic energy. Like we still have a lot. So what are we gonna do with it?
Mm-hmm.
And so like, well, there is still. We can probably create a being to keep him in check in case he ever goes rogue. And so like, well, what do you mean? Like a being with demonic energy, but can be perfectly hidden amongst the ranks of humans,
Right.
given their presence isn't as quick to identify. And so this is where I am created, essentially as the enforcer or the watcher.
Mm-hmm.
And so me, I'm having the best sleep of my life. I'm just chilling, sleeping, sleeping amazing actually.
Right.
As they're like, well, I guess we put 50% of this energy into him since it's only traded with left of this energy put into him, which was 50% of the demonic energy they used to essentially make a Nephilim.
Mm-hmm.
They put both respectfully 50% angel energy and 50% of demonic energy. Because they know they can't have more or less than the amount that they put in for either side individually. Otherwise, there'll be an imbalance. Right. And impurity, if you will. So they took 50% of that demonicness and put it in me. But they didn't want to make another Nephilim, so they decided to keep my genetics, which I was already human, so they decided to spread it out evenly. So I'm now 50% demon, but I still keep my human inheritance. Like I would still look like me. Or at least that's what I'm thinking.
Mm.
So I cut to my side of the world because they essentially recreated me from birth again. And dimensional void space.
Right.
Similarly to how Kazuya was at in the first episode, Konosuba.
Oh.
It's like just this dimensional void in space. As I'm confused, I'm like, where am I? I know I was sleeping good. I didn't think I slept that good. As this guy is what I'm calling, who's essentially, well, at least from my view of it, at the edge of the universe, and I'm thinking, did I die in my sleep? I'm thinking, well, all the ways to die in your sleep don't sound too bad. So the guy sees that I'm there, and he's like, oh, I didn't think you were going to die this soon. I thought you had an extra hour on you. But hey, we'll just speed up the process. I'm like, what is happening? So this guy grabs my hand, starts putting just random junk in my hand. He's like, I'm like, hold on, you're moving too fast. What is going on? He's like, in basic terms, I need to put you in this world. That's like a watcher, a peacekeeper. A mediator, if you will, someone who's always in the middle of things. I'm like, why? Because, well, hey, who wouldn't want to go to a new world? I'm like, wait, you told me I died and now I'm going to a new world. He goes, yes, more or less. And I'm like, well, can you at least tell me which world I'm going to? Like, but do be aware that there will be demonic and holy energy sources from there. That's all you need to know. Since in this new world you will be part evil. And so I'm like, wow, raised Christian my whole life, now being part evil. That's amazing.
Oops. Sorry about that, guys. I had to laugh that one. I'm sorry.
It's good. So with that, he's like, but hey, don't worry. Much about you shouldn't alter that much since you're going to be part demon. Like your genetics shouldn't change that much.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. At least I get to chill and relax. As he's like, alright, I'm ready. He's like, very nicely, just step into this beam of light, right? And as this beam of light just casts over me, it's like similar to like an Ultra Instinct Goku thing where you just shut out a whole bunch of energy like this pillar of light just straight up in the air. Think of that, similar to that, just this pillar of light. As it just takes me somewhere else. And so, with that, me being mid doing that, I essentially just feel my genetic code physically changing. I can feel it changing. It's not necessarily painful or anything. It's just I can definitely feel it like changing. And so this bright light, which is a very bright light, in absolute darkness for like a couple of minutes. And then I wake up and I see I'm being cradled. And I'm like, what the? Why am I being cradled? As I look and see who's cradling me, and I see it's this older woman, cradling. She's not too old, like probably 35, maybe early 40. And I'm just like, why is she, holding? And I see like she's kind of like by herself. As I'm looking around and I see, man, who was like a decent height, dressed fairly well. And I look down at myself as I see him stubby arms, like very stubby arms. I'm like, so this is what he meant. As for them, it's kind of interesting to them because they would think, a baby would start crying at this point, But no, I'm not necessarily crying. I'm just more or less surveying my surroundings. It's like I know I'm a baby. Well, you can say yes and no to that,
Right. Same with me. I was raging that because I'm in a small body. I'm not in my adult body.
See, for you, it was kind of out of nowhere. For me, I had a bit of time to embrace for the impact.
Right.
And so I'm looking around. I see this blonde haired woman next to this next to this this a tanner dude, dude. As I'm looking at myself, right,
Mm-hmm.
and I see a couple of things that's different. Something that's supposed to be hanging low ain't hanging low no more. I say that that's supposed to be getting tight during the winter ain't getting tight no more. Okay, I'm stop playing around.
Yeah,
Essentially,
that's cool.
my balls are gone.
Yeah, it was just shocking.
I'm like, me seeing it, I'm like, damn. So this is how dogs feel after getting neutered. You just took my freaking precious jewels away, my life, my state for living.
Mm.
I'm thinking, as a man, what am I still alive for? Until I hear her say, "Oh, she's such a beautiful baby girl." I'm like, this old did not.
He just giving him the whole stink face right now.
Right. And I have like a face. I'm making an expression on my face that no mother probably wants their baby to be making.
Right.
Like I'm making like a very sour, angry look on my face.
Yeah.
Like it's almost as if I just ate a whole bunch of freaking lemon patch kids. I just look like I'm about to just roar at somebody. But then she starts cradling me. I'm like, well, he did say my genetics has been split in half, so maybe that's why I am what I am.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I'm a baby, so I shouldn't be stressing my parents out. So I'll take it back to you.
So I'm just, raging at the fact that I'm a baby, as I just suddenly stop out of nowhere. I just breathe in and breathe out and calm down. So I'm a baby again. As I look at my arms, and I could feel hints of a little bit of power left. As I'm like, so I still have my powers. I just can't contain them because I'm a baby. As my mother sees that I got real serious. She's like, "What a baby like you making a serious face like that?" As she like sees me in middle thought, right? As I kind of just do the whole fake baby thing, just to get her off me. I don't want her to be freaked out, So I just calm down and do baby stuff. As she's my mom in this story. As she's like, "Oh, are you hungry?" Whole baby thing. As I'm like, "Oh no, please don't do what I think you're gonna do." As, she starts breastfeeding me, essentially. I'm like, "Oh man, this is weird," because I'm a descendant of death. So she's not really my mom technically, but we're gonna let it slide, right? So we're gonna say a 5 year time skip goes by. As my mom is cleaning the house, as I'm sitting down reading books, as she's happy that I'm reading books and shit like that, right? And but I'm reading them. She's like, "Do you understand what those words are?" And I'm like, quite frankly, yeah. As she's shocked at my statement, as I say, "I'm gonna go head outside." As we cut outside, as I'm sitting on top of a rock, meditating, trying to get a feel of my powers once again, right? And it's there, but it's not quite there. For one thing, I'm stronger than an average human. For one, my father, he's he is a very successful businessman. As I'm sitting on a rock, you know, my mom is cooking. As you see, the bioelectricity start to form on my body as the crows and every animal in that forest start to freak out. Sorry about that. As my mom is like, "What is going on? Why are the animals going in a frenzy right now?" It's because the animals can feel my angelic and demonic powers at the same time, and it's freaking them out as they they run like they see something that they shouldn't have seen. As I'm like, well, maybe I should stop for right now. Don't want to destroy anything accidentally because this forest is pretty good. As we see some shady figures watching in the background. As I pass it back to you, bro.
Alrighty. So, as you're kind of dealing with your stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're just kind of looking at them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you're looking at them, it's like a sense of familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you don't know these people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're probably thinking, do they work with your little family? Like, what's that? What was that? And so you see that these beings, they ain't exactly nice people. I should put it bluntly.
Mm-hmm.
And you just see one of them create like this beam spear in their hand, chuck it at your house, kind of blowing things up. As you probably feel like, what is happening right now? Like, why is it happening? You know?
Right.
So you're quickly like running in on the situation as you just tell them to like stop, kind of like stop.
Mm-hmm.
As they're just looking at you, they kick you to the side. They laugh. I'm like, what is a child gonna be able to do to us? So they can try to continue to create havoc, but you just grab one of them by the wing, kind of stopping them from moving.
Mm.
And you're like, I asked you again, stop wrecking my house. As you do a little bit more bass in your voice.
Mm.
And you kind of release a bit of killing intent, kind of similar to when that guy tried to like grab Meliodas in the freaking medical ring.
Right. Okay.
And it's just like this crazy demonic pressure just stopped everyone in their tracks from moving.
Right.
Similar to that.
Mm.
But for you, instead of just being demonic pressure, it's angelic pressure as well.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, since these were fallen angels trying to attack your family because, well, hey, bread works respectfully to the universe.
Right.
They're like, how come human gets this much bread? You just have to work for one dude. That ain't fair. I want that. Right. So they try to take it. So you started to make it apparent that you're not touching anything of my family's belongings.
As I get cold, right? As they're like, whoa, what is this kid? Why is he? They just shocked. Like, they can't put no words on what they feeling because it feels like a very powerful devil is there, and also a very powerful angel. They're like, what is going on with this kid? As you can see my shadows behind me, as they see something truly horrifying. As they're like, what the hell is this? I said leave my house. As, they freaking out. They trying to, leave. As something overwhelms my body. A real murderous intent happens where essentially I put my arms up, right? As you see a huge shadow just follow towards them, right? As it ends up like catching them, as I squeeze my grip tighter. As I said, leave. As I absolutely obliterate one of them, like they got absolutely wrecked. As the other one tries to flee, but I end up clipping one of his wings off. But he still got away. as I pass out. As my parents are shocked because they never sensed anything like this before. Sure, my mom is an angel, my dad is a devil. So they they can't believe this. Like it actually, we have a hybrid son. Like their son is a hybrid, and it's shocking to them as they get everything together. Make sure everything's good. Nothing wasn't really that destroyed, but and make sure I'm okay. Clearly, um, they have to like report this or something. Like, what do we do? As they try to contact some very important people that's in the verse, aka the Ria's Grimmery family. As we cut to Rage's part.
Alrighty. So Ria's, being a bit older in this one, let's say like she's like a good
I'll say
3 to 4 years older than us currently.
Yeah.
Since she just says, well, not just her. It's like this signal that goes off in her head.
Right.
Since Akano, she's still sitting near Ria's because Akano was Ria's like first friend.
Mm-hmm.
So she would be here at this point. Like her parents had no problem with her being involved.
Right.
As Rich says, did you feel that pressure, that energy? As Akano's like, yes. Seems like he's making quite a name for himself already. Yeah. It's like, true. Either that or the other beings had caught word of his existence already.
Mm.
So they're already trying to attack him. As Akano's like, well, we shouldn't really be the ones quick to jump to the conclusion, Rich. This family that we put him through is very successful, so they could be after his parents' fortunes. And she's like, maybe, but that's weird for beings to be interested in such things.
Mm.
It's still like, is it when your family is very rich and wealthy and well known? She's like, well, you do have a point there. But even then, I knew it was going to be a feeling, but this is, talk about pressure, it's just kind of insane. They're like, hey, he's still probably getting used to his power, so let's not call him off too quick before anything too crazy happens. This is our first time ever since a call like this. It means he's probably getting quite accustomed to what his abilities can and will do. After all, he is a descendant of death, so I'll be shocked if he didn't realize his existence very quickly.
Mm.
And so, Sir Zex and his father and everyone kind of come into the room.
Right.
As they're having a little brief EA meeting. A little brief. With not just her, Sona, she's there too.
Right.
So they're all talking and saying like, well, what Riff was already saying, did you feel that demonic and angelic pressure? They're like, well, that is a Nephilim for you. They will. They're quick to, the potential is quite high, which makes sense since they're a hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the descendants. Why am I not surprised? Right. And it seems that, given what we have heard, it appears that fallen angels have appeared at the area to try to take his own family's fortunes by trying to kill his family.
Mm-hmm.
As they all just have a dumbfounded look on their face, right? They're like,
right.
Why? Like why?
Why?
I mean, hey, Red can make people do stupid things.
Right.
But I'm sure he gave them a lesson they'll never forget. Given what we felt just now, rest assured that the fallen that they probably attacked his families won't be able to attack anything anymore for the rest of their life. That's all you. We're saying, what do you mean by that? Because what we're sensing We can't sense their energy source no more, which means one or two things. One, either captured, or two, they're dead. Which kind of leaves the room a bit quiet.
Right.
Because they're like, wow, that was just little he probably wasn't even really trying, probably thinking about it. Wasn't even really trying. And
Right.
kill fallen angels like that. That potential must be absurd once he actually gets accustomed to his powers again. So like, yeah, but hey, that's a sick anyways. But like before, this doesn't get spread out to anybody else. This is just an unfortunate situation that could have happened to any race.
Right.
So as far as we're concerned, we need to keep this under wraps so other races don't get word of its existence quite yet. So pressure like that is probably going to lead to a lot of attention just by default.
Right.
Being the son of a multi-millionaire, that is. Yeah, we need to make sure when he gets the age of teenagers that he comes to Cole Academy. Lock that in to his registers. Like, already? They're like, yes. We need to keep a close eye on him because we don't know what's happening. Sure, we can send people to examine him, but given what he did to those fallen angels, I'm not risking my men to look after one kid. So like everyone is dismissed. So they all leave out and kind of do their own thing.
Right.
So we're going to cut back to me and my family side. So on my family side, I have been relatively living a relatively humble life. Nothing too crazy. Like, I never had to worry about being broke. But I wouldn't necessarily say my family is like rich. But it's the type of family where they go out their way to make sure you never feel like you need anything.
Right.
Like you always see food in the refrigerator. You always see clothes ready for you. It's like that. We're not rich, but we ain't poor either. We're like mid class family. So I'm living pretty normal, as given my family, they do indulge me in a little bit of like what to do in terms of like just self-defense and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. Simply due to the fact that my father just simply don't want me to get involved in that kind of stuff.
Right.
He wants his precious little daughter to live a pretty normal life and be free of having to deal with demonic and angelic or fallen angel affairs. Simply due to the fact that hey, he's retired as a war general of Rios' father. So he wants to live a pretty normal life. But he's like a retired war general who's been aiding Rios' father for literally ages. Literally ages. So as you can tell, he's pretty known and pretty popular with other demon people and other worldly beings in general that they know who my father is, what he does and stuff.
Right.
And they know who my mother is, just something due to the fact of having really good amplified healing potential. Since she does fall under that category of just a protective person.
Right.
So she naturally has like healing powers. Nothing to the degree of regenerating limbs or anything, but for like simple medicines and stuff and tonics and trinkets, all that stuff. That's very simple for her.
Right.
And so we're gonna cut to like 5 to 7 years. And like again, for the most part, I've just been living pretty normal until one day, to where just I'm pretty much relaxing, chilling, playing with just some of the toys, right? And so as I'm doing that, right, I hear like a noise in the living room, right? I just hear like this like loud crash. As I'm hearing like this crash, I'm wondering like, well, what's going on and everything, right? And so as that's happening, my mom is like running, and she like grabs me and puts me into like this closet.
Right.
And she just says like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna check up on things and I'll be able to get you out of here," right? And so as that's going, I'm just looking through like the blinds, right? As I see fallen angels, or specifically fallen angels that's been working with a Coca-Bill.
Oh.
Well, you see, Coca-Bill and my father has had a very deep rivalry history. You know, everything my father was, Coca-Bill hated because, well, he wanted to be that. You know, he wanted to be the best war general. He wanted to be popular amongst the ranks of his own people. He wanted all this, you know. Like, keep in mind, there's a difference between my father and Coca-Bill. Coca-Bill thinks he's entitled to it, while my father actually worked to get where he's at.
Right. Oh, man.
He thinks he's entitled to success just because of his name, not because he actually worked for it.
That's crazy.
And my father really was a low-ranking demon, worked his way up to be on the sidelines fighting with really Rios' father for people. So the man really had a rags to riches and just wanted to live a normal retired life after he was done. Sure, he does keep his skills short, given the time he ain't there, but given the overwhelming army, and they all have share a portion of Coca-Bill's power, and since my father isn't exactly in his prime anymore, he does get overwhelmed by the Coca-Bill's forces. And with all that happening, me still in the blinds, right? I'm seeing like my mom running like across like the room, like running away from other like fallen angels, right?
Right.
And so with like that happening, and I see it like one of them straight up like about to like kill my mom right in front of me. I don't know why, just reactions just sprayed out in front of me, right? And I just rush in and just punch one of the fallen angels in the face. But I knock one down, and I just like punching the other one, right? I'm just not really, there's no real technique behind what I'm doing. I'm just mad, right? Because these beings essentially destroyed my family, so there is no holds barred at this point.
Right.
So as I'm fist fighting a lot of them, right? As one of them just like grabs me and like kicks and just knees me extremely hard in my stomach.
Cooler.
Like similarly to how Vegeta kneed Gohan in his chest when he was searching for the Dragon Balls.
Right. Oh shit.
And I'm just on the ground, right, holding my stomach, right. And here comes one of the fallen angel chicks, right. Or at least one of them. And she did something that I will not forget for never forget. But she specifically did like a binding spell to keep me like pinned down. And she just says to me, just in the most like demonic tone ever, "This is what happens when you try to play hero." And she makes like a light spear in her hand, right? And she just raises it above like my mom and just stabs it through, like just killing her instantly. And so before anything, like literally, I'm literally at my last leg at this point. Like you might say, sure, you don't know these people,
right?
But given the time at which I'm there, you would naturally build a connection with people, even with those you don't really know.
Right.
Even in workplaces, Sure, you don't know them outside of your job, but you can't say the relations you built with them are fake.
Right.
So with that, like, parts of my like demonic energy starts like bursting off.
Mm.
Before I can go on a freaking rampage and start bullying them, one just knocks me up, right? Or at least the blow that she thought she killed me with, but I'm really just passed out, right? And so with that, she's like, well, that's the last of them, right? As one of the guys like, so what are we gonna do about this, General Rainer?
Oh.
And she's like, well, tell Coca that we have finished the job. As I'm just, well, I look like I'm dead, but I'm not.
Right.
You know? And she's like, she can tell I'm not dead, but she wants the idea that my family's dead, and there was really nothing I can do about it at that moment sitting in my head.
Right.
She wants that thought in my head to ponder for as long as I'm still alive. The fact that if only you were strong enough, you know?
Right. Damn.
And she makes sure to do a magical binding spell on my chest as I'm currently like passed out.
Right.
And she's constantly keep putting me in this state to where I'm just seeing that event over and over and over again as I'm currently passed out.
Damn.
As they all just leave. As I'm just getting like mentally like tortured right now because I'm seeing that event over and over and over and over again.
Right.
Until I just violently wake up in like the most coldest of sweats I've ever had in a very long time. As I'm looking around, I see my house literally hanging on by a thread. Literally by a thread.
Right.
Like the roof's caved in, doors exploded off. Like everything's just in ruins, right?
Right.
And on top of that, both my parents are dead. And so now I am mad that not only just fallen angels in general, but just two specific names I heard that really just pissed me off. Coca Bill and Rhino.
Ugh.
So of course, me being me at this moment, I'm just going to go on a whole just genocidal rampage and just kill all of the fallen angels, really all of them. Show no mercy, all of them. Right? So I'm looking at all the things in my house, and I see the amulet that my mom was supposed to give me on my birthday, which was the same day all this happened.
Right.
I just take it, put it around my neck as I just bury my mother and my father, but not too far from where that happened. So now I'm just wondering, what do I do now? You know, essentially, I was living good, but now everything is just destroyed and gone now.
Right.
As someone who has never experienced this in their normal life, it's kind of a different feeling when you experience it in a world that's not even yours. So now I'm just currently on my own and just walking, right?
Right.
As I'm cutting to the Riser family. Because,
Hold